We're able to score in double figures. Mark Jackson for three.
You can see Indiana came out right away trying to put the ball in the hands of Reggie Miller. They went to a high pick and roll with him, and Milwaukee jumped him, double-teamed him right away, forced him to give the basketball up.
Ray Allen to Darvin Ham as we set the book on Robinson. On the Bucks with the first basket of the evening.
Milwaukee uses the pick and roll the first play just as a decoy. They really wanted to weak side, screen down, pull Robinson. They got what they wanted.
Austin Crozier. We'll see quite a bit of John Clark, who played 20 minutes the other night. And did a nice job as Crozier was off the mark. Although he did a good job when the game was out of hand, so it's tough to tell. And the Bucks, who were sizzling in Indianapolis on Thursday, have hit their first two shots. They shot 53% the other night. Here's Reggie Miller getting right to it.
Well, Reggie came out early tonight. He arrived with the first bunch. Normally he comes with the veteran second group. Wore a Superman t-shirt out on the floor just to kind of antagonize those fans that showed up earlier tonight. Build his confidence level up, and we see him hit the first shot.
Well, the antagonizing part did work. So they've been on Reggie, or they would have been on Reggie had he been wearing a Milwaukee Bucks uniform in the warm-up. Jackson draws the double. Rebound by Johnson. Elvin Johnson putting it on the floor, and he's called for the up and back.
That's why coaches tell big men, pick it up, give it to a guard, give it to somebody that's used to advancing the basketball off the dribble. Good thought, poor execution.
Jalen Rose throws into Mark Jackson. 2 minutes gone by in this first quarter. With Crozier. Crowd was looking for an offensive foul, and Johnson able to get to the rebound. Robinson off the double, and it's broken up last touch by Crozier.
For some reason, Indiana looks small all of a sudden tonight. They don't look like the same team that we are associated with seeing out on the floor. Obviously, Smith's a 7'4" presence, but this is a much smaller Indiana team.
And it's unusual to see the Pacers without Smith trying to get it going early as Robinson continues the Milwaukee onslaught. 6-2 Bucks. Usually Indiana opens up by trying to get Smith involved right at the start.
Well, it feels they can get their low post game going with Smith, so he'll command double teams. That'll open up the perimeter as Reggie continues to shoot the ball well.
And Reggie Miller coming out very assertive, as he mentioned to Sister Cheryl during the course of the opening of our telecast, that he was going to be more offensive-minded. 9 for 30 from the field for Reggie over the first 2 games, but he's come out shooting. Cassell, yes. The Bucks have come out firing. 4 for their first 5.
Sam Cassell loves to play from that right side of the floor. They clear it out, give him a complete isolation, and he makes it work.
Nice play as Rose set it up for Davis.
Nice to get Dale Davis involved early in the game. Rose draws 2 people off the dribble, dishes it off to Davis. Now you got the big man pumped up to give you a big game.
Thursday night in Game 2, the Bucks beat the Pacers 104-91. The score did not indicate the depth of the rout. Milwaukee led by as many as 31 points. And the Pacers, in losing, gave up their home court advantage, thus nullifying the top seed in the Eastern Conference. Miller played by Allen. Crozier guarded by Ham with help. Shot clock down to 3.
You see Crozier fading on the shot because he's concerned about Ham's ability to leap and block and change shots.
Foul is called on Crozier diving into Ham.
They wanted to jump or double team the basketball. They never really got to it. They were kind of in the middle in limbo. First time out, when Ray Allen came off the screen, we saw them go underneath the screener. We'll see if they do it on a regular basis here.
Urban Johnson. Nicely done. Doesn't look for the shot unless it's a pretty high percentage situation, and that was.
Source calls very high on him. He said, where would it be without him? He changes and blocks shots, saves easy baskets that the other team is going to get, and then he's played very big on the glass for him.
Crozier stepping back. He's 0 for his first 4. Milwaukee with a 10-6 lead. Cassell trying to beat Jackson off the dribble. Pass into a crowd. Miller thought he was hooked by Cassell. Jackson, yes, and it counts. Foul committed by Robinson.
And Reggie Miller has a legitimate complaint right there. When Cassell had the turnover, what he tried to do is stop the fast break by fouling Reggie Miller immediately. After the loose ball's picked up there, he grabs him. He's holding on to the right leg. Reggie has to break free, but Jackson will have the opportunity for a three-point play.
Mark Jackson took a scratch on the arm off the foul by Robinson. Mark Jackson, who played well in Game 1. In Game 2, just 2 for 8, only 5 points, just 5 assists.
You see that? There he is. He's wiping that blood off. They will have to stop the game as soon as the officials see this, and they will have to clean that up or substitute for Mark Jackson.
1 point, Milwaukee lead. 5 minutes gone by. Glenn Robinson getting excellent position. He's 3 for 3 from the field.
Well, they feel he's just a little bit too big and a little bit too strong for Jalen Rose. They give him the ball down low and he's back to the basket. He creates a little bit of room by backing him down 1 or 2 dribbles and shoots over.
Oh, Allen with terrific hustle, but stepped out of bounds, and a timeout called by the Pacers. Standing ovation for the Milwaukee Bucks. They're up by 3.
Step back and hit a jumper. Without that now, you see different guys trying to assert themselves. Austin Crozier, they give it to Reggie Miller to hit a couple J's, but who now will step up for them? That's the question.
I get the idea Austin Crozier's laboring with the shot. He's still bothered by a pulled muscle in his right foot. Here's Cassell. Crozier with the rebound. Bucks with a 12-9 lead. Rose takes it to the hoop. Strong move by Jalen Rose.
Jalen Rose got hit that time. No foul was called, but while he was up in the air, Ham had a real good shot, body to body with him. Nice conversion that time by Rose.
I'd like to welcome those of you watching in Canada on TSN. So we welcome our Canadian neighbors who are looking forward to tomorrow's game number 3 between the Knicks and the Toronto Raptors. Mark Jackson was called for that foul.
Rose goes strong. He knows there's going to be contact. He knows that Ham is a shot blocker. He concentrates, keeps his eyes on the focal point at the backboard, and takes the blow, still converts it.
Just under 6 remaining in the first quarter. Oh, he loves that spot. Big dog Glenn Robinson has been perfect. 4 for 4, and the Bucks are up by 3. And of defense from the crowd here at Bradley. Allen got a piece of it. Davis. Allen kicked the blind side, trying to knock it away. Here's Miller for 3. Back comes Cassell.
Well, you can see Reggie just didn't shoot that one right. It didn't come out of his hand the right way. Very little rotation on the ball.
Darvin Ham, very active, couldn't hold on and deflected it out of bounds. Darvin Ham has done an excellent job for the Bucks. Had a very strong game the other night in Indianapolis. Doesn't always show up on the stat sheet. 6 points, 6 rebounds, 4 block shots. Foul is called on Cassell. And Ham landed on his tailbone back on Thursday night, but able to hang in. We asked George Karl about it. He said, I didn't want to ask him about the injury. We know he's tough. He's not going to say anything.
I'll tell you who's taken the most blows thus far in this game. It's Larry Bird over on the sideline there. He's had Ray Allen crash into him, Reggie Miller crash into him. Bird was just grabbing his hand a second ago from when Reggie Miller landed on him last time.
Austin Crozier missed his first 4 shot attempts. Well, the Pacers trail by 1. Robinson feeling it, taking it to the rim. Put home. Looked like Irvin Johnson. Yes, it was.
Austin Crozier was there, but he just needed to step up. 1 giant step forward. He picks up the offensive foul.
Bucks by 3. Rose wanted to take the shot, then gave it up. Davis in the post. Dale Davis. Nice turnaround jump for Davis. His second field goal. 16-15 Milwaukee.
I mean, there's nothing you can do about it right now, but you look back at the decision that was made as Robinson hits another jump shot. I mean, this team hasn't cooled off from the last game. But you look back at the decision that the Pacers made of trading Antonio Davis, and it's this type of situation which you can't plan on a player being suspended, but it's another veteran guy. He's a presence on the glass. He's a scorer. He had learned to score points in the low post area. They certainly could use him tonight.
Jalen Rose, and the Pacers trail by 1. So Milwaukee and Indiana trading baskets here in the first quarter. 3 minutes, 40 seconds to go. Tim Thomas getting set to check in for the first time. Robinson working on Jackson and drew the double. Cassell is open. Yes.
Mark Jackson just turned to his teammate and said, I can't do that. I can't come and get help from that position. As soon as Cassell saw him come to help, he floated to the open spot. Nobody could get to him on a rotation. Nobody tried to get to him on a rotation.
And Cassell is 3 for his first 4. Crozier posting up on Ham. Working hard to get the shot off. Excellent defensive pressure. Cassell came over to help out. Forcing the difficult shot. It will be Milwaukee ball. And here's Tim Thomas checking in and hearing it from the crowd.
Crozier tries to back down, create a little space by moving into the body. Right there is where he tried to create the space. Hand too strong, too solid. He goes nowhere. It's a brick wall.
Tim Thomas, who George Crowell says is the pulse of the team Thursday night, very effective off the pick and roll. 19 points in all, along with a couple of blocked shots. Here's Allen beating Miller off the dribble, then kicking it out. Thomas for 3. Johnson coming over the back and is called for the foul.
Tim Thomas was out early tonight shooting. I watched him. He was in the deep right corner. He must have hit 6 in a row from behind the three-point line. He shot him easy.
Timeout is called. 2:48 remaining in the first. The Bucks have a 3-point lead.
Supersonics stayed alive, beat the Utah Jazz 89-78. Karl Malone, in a losing effort, had 30 points. Also had 5 fouls, including a technical.
You know, I get a technical foul for turning my back and walking to the huddle. So I get a technical foul for that. And you know, that's it. When I retire, I'll say more about it. But I'm saving a lot of money, too, so.
Well, the Seattle Sonics with the season on the line, able to keep things going with the victory earlier today. They'll play game number 4 at the Arena in Seattle Wednesday night. And here on TNT, first quarter winding down here in Milwaukee. The Bucks with a 2017 lead on the Pacers. Davis draws the double. Miller. And rebounded by Johnson.
I like what I see come out of the timeout there because, you know, Miller looked like he had it going early in the game. Then there was a stretch of time where he doesn't touch the basketball anymore. They come out of it, draw it up to get Reggie the ball.
Allen fires. What a beautiful stroke. Ray Allen. And Milwaukee has hit 11 of 17 from the field. Indiana 8 of 18 here at the Star.
Yeah, and there was an adjustment by Indiana to the pick and roll defense. We saw it there. It didn't work, but they're playing it differently than game number 2.
Good play by Johnson to challenge Jackson. Robinson going glass. Glenn Robinson 6 for 7. He has 12 points. Bucks up by 7. It's their biggest lead of the night.
I think Indiana senses right now they need to get a basket here. The crowd right now is in a frenzy. Their team is playing with extreme confidence. They don't want this thing to get too big too early.
Crozier, that was actually a shot attempt, but he was able to field it. Here's Cassell trying to break on the Pacers, who were a little slow to get back. Coming up on 1 minute left in the first. Robinson. And Crozier off the board. Scott Williams, Vinny Del Negro, each had big games Thursday in Indianapolis, getting set to come on. Blocking foul on Robinson. Travis Best will check in for the Pacers. That's the second personal on Glenn Robinson. Ray Allen Irvin Johnson sitting down. Darvin Ham will check back in. He'll come on for Robinson. Crowd reacts to Glenn Robinson. 12 points in this first quarter.
Robinson already with 8 field goal attempts in the first quarter, 6 for 8 from the floor.
Reggie Miller on a quick release. Going right at Vinny Del Negro. 6 points for Reggie. 3 of 6 shooting. 24-21, Milwaukee. Del Negro. Yes. Well, he came out sizzling on Thursday, hitting on his first 5 field goal attempts.
Almost the same spot he hit his first basket in the last game against them.
Miller got the step. Nice move going right at Sam Cassell.
There's no reason why Miller's not going to get, 20, 25 shot attempts tonight in the game. He's got to go, and they need him to come up big here.
Pushing foul on Crozier, who does not like the call. Sam Cassell a bit out of control as he tried to race down, and Darvin Ham was able to save it. Here comes Sam Perkins. Crozier picked up his second, so he'll depart. Pacers now have a front line of McKee, Davis, and Perkins. Miller and Best at the guards. 28 seconds remaining in this first quarter. Allen is back, coming on for Darvin Ham. There's a 10-second differential between the game clock and the shot clock. Thomas using the pick. Thomas shooting. Rebound Williams. So now they can just hold on for the rest of the quarter. 10 seconds remaining.
And Cassell just wants the ball, the whole side of the floor. Give it to me, I'll shoot it over the top of Best with the clock running down.
And he goes the other way with a scoop as time runs out.
It was a well-thought-out shot, though, because Best figured he was going to fade on the jumper. He started to show the fade, then stepped back underneath him again, and he just...
First quarter, they have a 3-point lead on the Pacers, and they've been led by their all-star forward, Glenn Big Dog Robinson.
Yeah, Robinson is primarily a jump shooter. He likes the left side of the floor. Occasionally he'll get over on the right side, but you see him most times running plays that get him on that left baseline. During the regular season, in the 4-game matchup, he shot 39%. After the first 2 playoff games, just over 34%. But tonight, he's off to the quick start, 6 for 8 from the floor. Big opening quarter.
Second quarter underway. Sam Cassell handling. He had 5 assists in the first quarter. El Negro met by Rose. Scott Williams showing the confidence. He has been hitting the perimeter shot, including one wild high off glass late in the game on Thursday that received some comments from Indiana players.
That one was pure right there.
Here's Davis. El Davis able to keep it alive. Travis Best. Perkins is hammered by Williams.
And that's one thing Indiana can do is concentrate on getting some second shot opportunities by hitting the offensive boards. You generally catch the defense in a scramble in that situation. It's a good time to turn, find their three-point shooters behind the line for some easy looks.
Sam Perkins to the free throw line. The winner of this series between the Bucks and Pacers will take on the winner between Charlotte and Philly. Sixers taking a 2-1 lead. Good ball game last night in Philadelphia, and Monday night on TBS. It'll be a doubleheader beginning at 7 o'clock Eastern time. In Game 1, the Hornets and the Sixers in Game 4 of that best-of-5, followed by Game 4 back here in Milwaukee between the Pacers and the Bucks. So it's Milwaukee 5-3 with that Milwaukee win over Indiana on Thursday night. The Bucks won their first playoff game in 10 years. Their last playoff victory was May 1st, 1990 against the Chicago Bulls. They had lost 8 straight in the postseason, 14 of the last 15. Shot clock running down. Scott Williams this time way off. You know the last time that the Milwaukee Bucks won a playoff game on the road? Can you give me that answer, John?
When was that?
It was 89 against your Atlanta Hawks. And a reach-in foul is called. It was May 8th, 1989. Darvin Ham on the foul in Atlanta. against the Czar and the Hawks. So the Bucks won that series. I did some research.
Are you sure I was coaching the team?
Yes, I'm
very sure. Positive about that? You mean the team that was coached for Milwaukee by Del Harris? We had beaten them 6 times during the regular season.
You sound bitter.
No.
11 years later.
Yes, I am. 6 times during the regular season. Lost that mini-series 3 games to 2.
A minute and a half gone by in the second quarter. Sam Perkins not able to get into it in game 2. 1 for 5 from the field. Figures to see more playing time tonight because of the absence of the suspended Rick Smith. Austin Crozier started the game and picked up 2 fouls. He's on the bench. Cassell, oh, beautiful fake to Claude on Best.
So get you down there, back you. You know that he's going to show and fade on you. That time the pump fake gets the defender in the air. Best knows he's got no chance. He's hung out. Best thing to do, make sure it's a good foul, and he's not going to get a shot on it.
Like no question, although Milwaukee has shot the ball very well, Indiana has come out looking much sharper than Thursday night.
Small things that they're paying attention to.
Larry Bird had been expressing concern over the players' lack of enthusiasm, in particular in practice sessions that took place prior to game number 2. He said when they don't practice well, they don't play well, and then that's exactly what occurred in game 2 on Thursday night. They had nothing going. A lethargic performance at home, but you can see tonight it's a different story.
And you would think, that knowing Larry Bird's work ethic and what he's about, that yesterday must have been a go-back to practice hard day, but it wasn't necessarily. They did some half-court controlled scrimmage in the half-court area, did their drills that they normally do, but not actually 5-on-5 full-court scrimmage. And you have to believe it's because of the lack of depth due to injuries that they have right now on this team.
And Travis Best has tied the game at 29. And sets the pick. Pick and roll attempted.
Very, very fortunate that time for Indiana. That's what was happening to him in game number 2, turning the corner, no one stopping the ball. We saw it last time. We see Jalen Rose get an easy score in transition for the Pacers.
You mentioned earlier, George Paul said that he feels he could take advantage of the fact that the Pacers do not have quick feet, yet Indiana trying to adjust to the problems. As Del Negro hits again, try to adjust to the problems they've had with the pick and roll. If you don't have quick feet, how do you make that adjustment?
Well, what they're doing is, in the last game when they were taking advantage of them, they wound up with the big men of Indiana too many times trying to stop the basketball from getting in the lane. That responsibility was taken away early this game by allowing the big people to stay up against the screener. They're telling the man guarding the basketball to go underneath both players. Basically, we're giving up jump shots is what we're doing.
There's Thomas. So Thomas hit by Rose, and a timeout is called. 9:07 remaining in the second quarter. The game tied at 31.
We see the change in defense. Right there as the screen is set, Reggie Miller goes underneath. The shooter, Ray Allen, now will be able to get a look at the basket. It's a matter of pulling up, shooting a jump shot. Will Allen be able to hit it? This particular time he does. But they're determined to keep the big men out of having to move their feet and stop the basketball. Obviously, as the game goes on, you make adjustments and changes in your defense if the other team is taking advantage of it. If they continue to make jumpers from the outside, then Indiana will have to make another change.
Coach Carl was telling us he set a personal record by running over 30 pick and rolls the other night. They just kept it going. Although I think you can relate to that.
Yes, they also added a couple more yesterday just for special situations like coming out of timeouts. And we saw after the last timeout, they ran a new one that they had not used yet tonight. We'll see if there's any more new ones coming up here.
Tim Thomas, 77% free throw shooter. The Bucks reclaim the lead. They are up by 2. Larry Bird staying with Best and Miller in the backcourt. The key with Perkins and Rose on the front line. Here's Miller to 3. And we are seeing a different Reggie Miller here tonight.
And Indiana anticipated the soft half-court trap by Milwaukee after the timeout. They put Reggie Miller deep in the left-hand corner, told him to wait there. We'll get you the ball eventually. And there he was.
Allen with the air ball on the three-point attempt.
You can see Ray Allen look to his teammates right away and acknowledge the fact that he knows he can get a better shot than that. He took a hurried shot that time, not a high percentage shot.
Ray off to a slow start, 1 of 5 from the field. Glenn Robinson getting set to check back in. He had the hot hand in the first quarter. Shot clock at 6. McKee. Excellent defensive sequence by the Bucks, and then Del Negro was able to get a piece of it, coming up with a steal. Thomas for 3. Oh, good hustle by Scott Williams, but not able to save it.
Pacers couldn't decide who was going to go after the loose ball. Reggie started to take off. McKee started to go after it. And then both of them realized nobody had gone after the ball. Both went back on it.
Now Robinson back. Ham sits down. Bucks had a 5-point lead when Robinson left the game after picking up a second foul. Pacers now lead by 1. Best got the step. Nice move by Travis Best.
Milwaukee tried to front the low post. As a result, when Best turned the corner, there was no defender there on the baseline to get to him quick enough.
Indiana by 3. 7.5 remaining. First half. Allen off the dribble. Beats Miller. Oh, what a shot. Ray Allen going to his left to beat Reggie Miller to bring the Bucks within 1. Best. El Negro and Allen now at the guards. Robinson, Thomas, and Williams up front. El Negro working hard to get the shot off. And a loose ball foul called against Milwaukee.
A late whistle, but a good whistle. Scott Williams in there crashing into people to come up with the rebound was called for the foul.
6 points for Ray Allen. Ray in his 4th season out of UConn, making the All-Star team this year for the first time. Here's the double. Rose. Double on Perkins. Broken up by Allen. Robinson for Allen. And a foul. Oh, he was hit hard. Foul committed by Miller.
Well, let me guess who the foul is on right now. Reggie trying to run him down and get a piece of it from behind as Allen pulls up. A little bit too much hip that time by Reggie.
Reggie Miller Thursday night was hit with a technical and a medley of personal fouls within a short period of time. Reggie's explanation, he says he was trying to get some emotion out there, trying to get the crowd going. A reminder, tomorrow on NBC, triple header action beginning at 12 o'clock Eastern time with Showtime. And then in the first game, the Knicks and the Raptors. Raptors trying to prevent a sweep. Knicks go into the game tomorrow up 2-0. Then the Blazers and the Timberwolves in Minneapolis, followed by the Los Angeles Lakers and the Sacramento Kings.
And where will you be tomorrow?
A little trip to the Target Center, Minnesota. And you?
I'll be watching all the games tomorrow from the studios.
Carl will be part of the Showtime crew, joining Anna Storm, Isaiah Thomas. Travis Best hitting from downtown. And the Pacers lead 41-39. The Milwaukee Bucks are only 23-18 here at home. And at one point, they lost a franchise record 7 in a row. Foul is called on Rose, his second. 23-18 is not a terrific home record for a team in the playoffs.
Indiana has picked up a number of personal fouls in this game just by being a little bit too aggressive. I know that Larry Bird and his staff have talked to them about hands of the ball. They've got to challenge shots. We cannot allow Milwaukee to get all the easy looks. And during the course of the regular season, Indiana 8th in the league as far as number of personal fouls per game. They committed just over 21 a game. But we see a pumped-up, aggressive team tonight going after it, and the body contact is what's pitching up tonight.
Austin Crozier is back on the floor. Crozier with Davis as the big man. Rose Robinson. It's number 3. Both Robinson and Cassell are on the scene, and it's called on Cassell. That's the second.
They put the pressure on Glenn Robinson. After having the 6 for 8 shooting first period, they've come out now, put the ball in the hands of Jalen Rose, and they're going right at Robinson and have him thinking a little bit more about defense than his offensive game. So as a result, they slowed him down scoring at the other end of the floor. He's come up with only 2 points since his opening 12-point quarter.
Jalen Rose, a superb foul shooter, 83%. For the season. It's been a breakout year for Jalen, who led the Pacers in scoring, averaging 18.2 per game, just edging out Reggie Miller. Thomas with the good box out. Pacers by 1. Milwaukee led by as many as 7 in the early going, with just under 5 remaining in the first half. Marv Albert with Lazar, Mike Fratello, along with Cheryl Miller. And Bradley centers in Milwaukee. Cassell, he was intent on getting that shot off.
He's tough down there. He starts backing you down. He's got the ability to fade, make shots, or show the ball, get you in the air, and then create contact from there.
Bucks lead by 1. 9 points for Cassell. Here's Rose. Rozier and Davis kept it alive. Best off glass. Cassell waiting to break. Cassell. And back comes Indiana.
Sometimes it's just the bounce of the ball that hung up there a little bit too long, or else Milwaukee would have had another offensive rebound in there.
And the foul against the Pacers. Brown Best.
The big guys can't see the little guys running underneath them, so I guess the rule is if you're a little guy, don't get underneath those big men when they're trying to get rebounds down there.
And for Travis Pass, his second foul, but number 5 for Indiana, so Milwaukee will go to the line. Bucks have 4 team fouls. Irvin Johnson will shoot 2. Just a 61% free throw shooter. Irvin Johnson out of New Orleans University, 7th NBA season. Originally a number 1 pick at Seattle. Played for the Sonics, the Nuggets. This is second year with Milwaukee. Mark Jackson back in. Coming on for Travis Best. Oh, Thomas able to get to the rebound.
Well, everybody's got to go to the glass. When you have one of your big men out, you need rebounds, you send the guards down in there, the forwards in there, who's ever on the floor, go get the ball first, worry about running second.
Rose able to save it. Shot clock at 6. Miller forcing with the shot clock running down.
Not a bad force. Onto the rim.
Thomas. Oh, what a move by Tim Thomas. Milwaukee leads by 3. Rozier trying to take advantage of the mismatch. Johnson able to get to it. Here comes Cassell on the open floor. Allen from downtown at the Bradley Center. 2 minutes and 40 seconds remaining in the first half. The Bucks lead by 6. Miller, yes. Reggie Miller with 13 points. Milwaukee 48 and Indiana 44. So the Bucks, who shot 53% in Game 2, have continued at a remarkable pace, shooting the ball so well, and they were among the leaders in that department during the regular season. Last touch by the Pacers.
Milwaukee trying to talk out what they're doing offensively. Thomas is expecting Cassell to be one place. Cassell explaining that he was screening to free up the teammate somewhere else.
Milwaukee is at 56% for the game at 20 for 36. They were 3rd in the NBA during the season. Tim Thomas continues to hit the jumper. 6 points for Thomas. 6-point Milwaukee lead. Oh, Jackson lost the handle. Cassell finding Thomas, going at Jackson. Biggest lead of the night for the Bucks. They are up by 8.
Those last 2 minutes, so important to end the half. Come on strong at the end, right before you go into the locker room.
Beautiful reverse from Mark Jackson. 52-46, Milwaukee. Robinson over McKee. Glenn Robinson with 16 points, 7 of 9 for the field. He had 12 of the 16 in the first quarter. Bucks have an 8-point advantage. Coming up on 1 minute left in the half. Here's Miller. Yes. It is a shootout here at Bradley Center in Milwaukee. Bucks up 54-48. Irvin Johnson rejected. Johnson again. 56-48. Jackson for 3. Yes. Mark Jackson with a beautiful reverse. And then hitting the 3. It's a 5-point Buck lead.
See if Milwaukee tries to get a quick 2-for-1 here to end this quarter. They need to get one up in the next 5 seconds, 6 seconds.
Allen again beats the Pacers off the dribble. From the point of view of Larry Bird, that's awful. That's too easy.
Have to keep the basketball in front of you. You want them to pull up and shoot jump shots. Problem is, while Milwaukee is pulling up, they're making jump shots.
Coming up on 10 seconds remaining in the half. Rose, Miller, shot clock, pitch. Robinson from half court. As you mentioned the difference, the halftime score, game 2, the Bucks at Conseco Fieldhouse led the Pacers 61-38 at the half. Ray Allen not able to hit. Cassell couldn't get to it, and it will be Indiana ball.
Well, again, they came up with 58 points in the first half of this game, so they are putting points up on the board. It's something that, Milwaukee did during the regular season. They scored over 101 points per game during the regular season, which placed them the 5th highest in the NBA.
Crozier working hard for the shot and draws the foul.
Austin Crozier had Reggie Miller spotted up in the right-hand corner. Reggie just chuckled. Now, it's not that he passed him up and didn't want to give him the ball. It's just that he couldn't see him. The angle that he took, driving it to the basket, Reggie was behind him in the right-hand corner, but no one was with Reggie. Reggie standing alone behind the three-point line.
Foul was called on Irvin Johnson. Austin Crozier in the starting lineup tonight. Rick Smith sitting it out because of that 1-game suspension for the flagrant elbow thrown to the head of Irvin Johnson back in game 2. Crozier started 14 games during the regular season, and it's been a breakthrough season for Austin Crozier in his 3rd year out of Providence. Did an excellent job, although he's been struggling recently because of that pulled muscle in his right foot. Just 2 of 8 from the field tonight. 58-53 Bucks. Darvin Ham off the dribble. Nice setup for Irvin Johnson.
Reggie Miller was the cutoff man. In other words, when a big man steps up to stop dribble penetration, people on the wings must cut back down inside to stop the layup. That responsibility was Reggie the last time.
Al Davis looking for position. Blocked by Johnson. Cassell. He'll go to the line.
When somebody turns the corner, a player must step up. There's Crozier stepping up, but no one cutting off. Johnson finishes with the dunk. And at the defensive end of the floor, this is why George Karl loves him there. He protects the front of the rim. You get no easy looks with Johnson in the middle of the lane area.
Foul called on Jalen Rose. That's his 3rd. Mike, you look at these first-round best-of-5 series. They're so dangerous. In particular, here's a number 1 seed and a number 8 seed. And the number 8 seed matches up so well against the number one. It's a complete different situation when you compare it to the long haul during the regular season.
And that's what happened in '89, Marv. I was trying to tell you that series.
I see.
It's the same thing that happened back then. It can happen in the first round.
Nice to see that not to stay with you hasn't bothered you at all. Jalen Rose cuts it to a 7-point Bucks lead. For those who may have just tuned in, we had mentioned earlier that the last road playoff victory for the Milwaukee Bucks was against the Mike Fratello coached Atlanta Hawks back in 1989. That streak was stopped with the win in Indiana the other night. Sam Cassell going glass. He has 13 points. Bucks 64, and the Pacers 55. Ray Allen trying to cheat over to help. Crozier. Nice setup. Austin Crozier with the spinner.
And again, Jalen Rose that time behind Crozier, spotted up, and he just gave Crozier a little motion. Keep your head up, see the floor.
Robinson kept alive by Allen, and the Bucks will reset. Cassell right at Dale Davis. Jackson followed by Cassell. Oh, it's Ham who got him from behind. Dalvin Ham running the length of the floor to chase him down.
Well, those are the kind of hustle plays that win big games for you. As Robinson elevates for a three. Think about that. Two that could have been at one end of the floor, saved by a great hustle play and blocked by Ham, turns into a three at the other end of the floor.
The Bucks have their biggest lead of the night, up by 10. Jalen Rose. So Jalen now has 13 points. He's playing with 3 personal fouls. The Bucks lead 67-59 with 3.5 gone by in the third. Robinson on a quick release. Crozier with the rebound.
Robinson had just hit the three. They come right back to him again to see if he had the hot hand like he started the game out with.
And Robinson with 12 points in the first quarter. Here's Crozier. Miller shooting. Allen taking it at Jackson. Ray Allen with 15.
Ray Allen is slippery. He glides along the floor, and then suddenly he gets a little bit faster, and then suddenly he elevates and jumps up over the top of you.
Milwaukee by 10. Jackson for 3. Here comes Allen. Off the dribble against Miller. Ham with the rebound. The crowd loves Darvin Ham. Does all the little stuff.
He does the dirty work. He gets on the glass. They have two players that are very happy and content in Ham and Johnson being on the floor and doing the stuff that has to be done to win games. Set screens, get loose balls, protect the front of the rim, and then they know the other 3 guys are capable of getting shots up and making baskets.
The 3.
Well, he didn't get it from the left side, so he ran along the baseline, wound up in the right-hand corner. Nice job of swinging the basketball by Indiana. Good job by Dale Davis of giving his team another shot opportunity by coming up with the offensive rebound.
Reggie with a second 3 is 18 points. Oh, Ray Allen is on fire. 19 for Allen.
Dale Davis got caught asleep that time. His man set a quick, sudden screen for Ray Allen. He never stepped up to help Reggie Miller on the pick and roll.
73-62. Bucks who continue the torrid shooting. They're 56% for the night. Rose. The play by Crozier to keep it alive. 6 minutes to go in the third. Here's Jackson. For 3. Reggie Miller with his third from downtown.
We said early on, Reggie Miller, Jalen Rose should be getting the basketball and make things happen. They've got it going tonight. Miller in particular feels it right now. Who else is going to create shots for him? Nice job of Miller by stepping in that time, picking up the offensive foul on Ham.
Second foul committed by Ham. double for Miller. Draws the double, trying to draw the foul. Late whistle. Oh, the Bucks don't like that. Foul is called. It's on Ham, his third.
Reggie Miller takes the lob, shows the ball, and he anticipates the contact right there. The baseline official doesn't call it. He's looking elsewhere. The outside official makes the call late.
That's what upset the Milwaukee bench. And Reggie Miller, the second best free throw shooter in the league this season behind the incredible Jeff Hornacek. Reggie was 92% from the line. He's on the line for the first time tonight. Coming up on 5 minutes to go in the third, and the Bucks have a 6-point lead. Reggie Miller has scored Indiana's last 8 points. Quick release by Allen. Crozier's doing a nice job off the board.
Yeah, you see Indiana playing with a little more confidence. They've done a nice job right now of making a run. Reggie Miller called right there for stepping up and setting the screen as Mark Jackson was coming down in transition. They're trying to play a little 1-2 pick and roll between the two guards because Milwaukee will generally switch. Then they get Cassell on the back of Reggie Miller with the size advantage. They're trying to go to Reggie.
Second foul picked up by Miller. Bucks have their starting lineup on the floor. Robinson played now by Jackson. Got to take advantage of the mismatch. What a rebound by Ham, challenging Davis.
It looked like Davis had the initial inside position as the shot went up, and that was just a lot of hard work that time by Ham to get around. Shot goes up. You see Davis. Instead, Ham moves into him. The ball bounces a little bit wider than was anticipated. Ham comes up with the rebound.
Well, Davis goes 6'11". Ham about 6'7", but can leap. Robinson and Jackson on the ball. 4.5 left in the third quarter. Miller over to Cassell. Reggie Miller does it from down low to bring the Pacers within 4. A 10-2 run by Indiana. All 10 points scored by Reggie.
I would think Indiana feels pretty good right now. They held off that run by Milwaukee. They've started to make some shots. The big thing is they've come up with key rebounds. And right there, Mark Jackson is not going to let Johnson dunk the basketball.
Now the Pacers would prefer seeing Irvin Johnson at the foul line. Only a 60% free throw shooter. Foul was called on Jackson, his second. So Irvin Johnson at the line. He is 0 for 2 from the free throw line. Irvin Johnson with 8 points, 11 rebounds.
You mentioned 60% shooter during the regular season. Coming into tonight's game, he made 3 out of his first 4.
Reminder, Monday night on TBS, it's a doubleheader beginning at 7 o'clock Eastern Time. In Game 1, the Charlotte Hornets and the Philadelphia 76ers playing Game 4 of their series, followed by Game 4 from Milwaukee between these Indiana Pacers and the Milwaukee Bucks. 74-69 Bucks. Just under 4 remaining in the third. Oh, Reggie Miller got the step.
They started to run the 1-2 pick and roll again, and Miller ran and flipped the screen and went to the basket. They had talked it out, he and Mark Jackson.
Allen is fouled. No offensive foul. Ray Allen was pushing out, and he's called for the foul.
Allen anticipated the fact that Dale Davis was going to come over and try to block or get a piece of the shot. So instead, he puts that arm out to gain some space. Davis actually would have committed the foul by coming down on it. But you can see there as Allen moves in, uses the arm and shoulder a little bit, the official makes the call.
Marvin Ham sits down. Tim Thomas with a good first half has checked in. Here's Rose. Jalen Rose. He has 15 points, and the Pacers are within 1. Milwaukee 15 left in the third, and Glenn Robinson extend to a 3-point lead. Larry Bird staying with Mark Jackson at the point. Reggie Miller, the shooting guard. Austin Crozier up front with Jalen Rose and Dale Davis. Miller got the step. Loose ball foul on Tim Thomas of the Bucks. That is his first. The Bucks with their 13th foul. Indiana also with 3. Johnson pushing out to Rose momentarily. Miller from way downtown. Crozier with another rebound. Ninth rebound for Austin Crozier. Rose able to get it over the outstretched arm of Johnson, and Davis and Cassell being separated. Irvin Johnson, Mark Jackson, and the officials able to break it up. This has been a very testy series in Game 2. Irvin Johnson walked away from a possible altercation with Austin Crozier. Rick Smith with that flagrant elbow, which connected on Irvin Johnson, leading to the suspension. Smith sitting it out tonight. Sam Cassell called for the apparently a double technical foul on Cassell and Davis.
Well, when you get the big guy down there with a little guy underneath him, sometimes the little guy tries to box Davis in under the basket. Davis takes exception to it, takes the ball, turns around and shoves it in the chest of Sam Cassell. Cassell pushes him. The official, Hugh Evans, comes in and just tells them both, look, settle down. Neither one of you guys want to really fight right now. Let's get on with the basketball game.
Double technicals handed out to Dale Davis and Sam Cassell. Thomas out of the rebound and pops it out. Here's Robinson for 3. Johnson. The Bucks going to the offensive glass, and it will be Milwaukee ball.
Well, Indiana's just hanging in there trying to smack it, hit somebody's arm, wrist, whatever they can do to get the ball out of there. Milwaukee playing high over the front of the rim.
They get the new 24 as we come up on 2 minutes remaining in the third quarter. Allen's pass sailing away from Robinson. George Karl in his 100th playoff game. Coach, that is. His 13th season as a head coach, his second with Milwaukee. Shot clock. The 6. Miller able to shake off Cassell. McKee with the rebound. Here's Miller. And he was held, so Reggie heads back to the line. Foul on Johnson.
Well, Reggie's heated up right now. He knows that he's got to go, and he knows the team needs him to do it. He's carrying this team right now. You can see him. He's frantic all over the floor right now. Needs a little rosin for his hands before he goes to the foul line to attempt the 2 free throws.
See the numbers on Reggie Miller, who has single-handedly brought the Pacers back. Reggie shooting his way out of it. Well, tomorrow on NBC, a triple header beginning at 12 o'clock Eastern Time with Showtime. The Czar will be on hand at the NBC studios, joining Hannah Storm and Isaiah Thomas, Peter Vesey on assignment.
Shipping Peter out.
Elsewhere.
Shipping him out.
Is that part of the agreement that you have?
It's the only way it would go in.
In the first game tomorrow, it's the Knicks and the Toronto Raptors from Toronto, followed by the Blazers and the Timberwolves from Minneapolis, and then the Lakers and the Kings. Well, Reggie Miller has 29 points, 14 of the 29 coming here in the third. Vinny Del Negro, Scott Williams have checked back in, and Robinson had it poked away. Pacers have taken a 1-point lead. They've come from 12 points down. Crozier around Williams. Allen. Oh, he beat him emphatically.
Indiana doing to Milwaukee what Milwaukee had been doing. Take advantage of a mismatch, get a guy to turn the face up, and then put it on the floor to beat a big man off the dribble.
We're looking at a 20-5 run by Indiana. Foul is called on Crozier.
Crozier gets Scott Williams out in the perimeter. He has to honor his ability to shoot the jumper, and then Williams knows he's beat. He gives you that open gate defense, blows by him, finishes it off with the dunk.
Ray Allen at the free throw line. An 89% foul shooter. Ray Allen, a first-round draft pick, 5th selection overall 4 years ago. He's taken by Minnesota and then traded along with Andrew Lang to Milwaukee for Stephon Marbury. And Ray Allen has emerged as an all-star. Bucks down by 1, 40 seconds left in the third. Here's Best trying to squeeze his way, gets it to Miller. Yes. That's a 2 for Reggie, and the Pacers lead by 3.
Reggie will be taking bus number 1, I get a feeling, for the rest of this series.
Yes, he came over early, got some shooting in. Out of 20 seconds remaining in the third, and the Pacers lead by 3. We are seeing a vintage Reggie Miller playoff performance. Still a quarter to go. Final seconds of the third. Best. Allen. All right, Reggie not able to hit, but kept alive by Crozier. Miller again.
12th offensive rebound now for Indiana.
Milwaukee shot only 7 of 22 from the field in the third quarter, and they're now struggling after a 57% first half. A minute 15 gone by in the fourth. The series tied at 1. Game 4 here in Milwaukee on Monday night. Best with the shot clock running down. A very friendly rim for Travis Best. The Pacers with an 85-78 lead, and they've quieted the crowd. Now they're trying to get back into it to urge the Bucks on.
Milwaukee comes right back with a pick and roll again, something that was so successful for them in game 2. And you see Miller go under the screen. Allen's got to pull up and shoot the jumper the way they're playing it.
Now the Bucks way off. Best setting it up against Benny Del Negro. Miller. Well, Reggie's hit a little drought period.
Reggie's taken a lot of shots. He's worked very, very hard to get free, to get those open looks. He's been on the floor a lot of minutes. So it builds up. He's bound to get a little tired, miss a few.
Allen from downtown. Yes. Pacers 85, the Bucks 81. Ray Allen, after a slow start, has come on. He has 24 points. Reggie Miller 1 for his last 7 after hitting 4 in a row. Best.
Show you how to get there.
The Bucks have hit only 3 of their last 15 shots. Robinson able to recover. Well picked off. Goes Glass. He has 23. The Pacer lead is now 4.
Did he call Glass? That's the question. Stripped to the ball, comes up with it, knocks it off.
Reggie Miller remaining on the floor. Miller and Best in the backcourt. Davis with McKee and Perkin on the front line. Shot clock at 5. Best to the rim. And here comes Del Negro. Thomas up front with Cam. Robinson. Thomas, played by a good defender in Derek McKee, and able to drill it.
Yeah, Thomas, same size, if not maybe a little bit bigger than Derek McKee. So although McKee is a very good defender, you've got a very good offensive player just as big.
10 points for Thomas. Sam Cassell getting set to check back in. The Bucks are within 2. Davis setting the pick. Miller from way downtown. So Reggie has cooled off considerably. Allen putting the move on Miller. Ham is fouled.
Or perhaps Larry Bird right now giving Jalen Rose his rest and planning on bringing Rose back in to give Miller a blow in a minute or two and then finish out the game with both of them on the floor.
Now Darvin Ham is a very poor free throw shooter. Does not spend much time at the line. Just 45% during the season. 35 for 78, making his first appearances tonight at the foul line. Sam Cassell is back. Here comes Jalen Rose. Will replace Derek McKee. Good spurt by Rose in the third. Helped the Pacers to come from behind. Milwaukee led by as many as 12 points. Well, Ham first came up short, decided to put more on it. Too strong.
You see it comes out of his hand from the side. He doesn't have the wrist straightened out at the front of the rim just by the rotation on the ball.
Nice pass. Ham with the block.
Dale Davis made a nice cut along the baseline, received a real good pass. The problem is he's behind the backboard, so the defender used the backboard.
6 minutes remaining in the fourth quarter. Indiana with the ball and a 4-point lead. Best kicks it out to McKee, and Derek McKee with 4 points and a 6-point Indiana lead. And look out once again. Oh, Robinson and Best having some words. And Ken Mauer very energetically gets between the two.
Yeah, and Travis Best has to keep his head. He doesn't need this right now. They're already down minus their center. They don't need to give away any points on technical fouls. He's playing well right now. Keep yourself in the game, first of all, physically, but keep yourself mentally in the basketball game. You're the guy that's got it going for your team right now.
Larry Bird coming out to center court to pull his players away. Larry Bird is one coach who's always had a very rational feel for the officials. He said, hey, you're not going to get the calls all the time, but it doesn't make any sense to go through these theatrics. In fact, Bird is walking back onto the court. Sam Cassell now, who is obviously a very talkative guy, is chatting it up with Dale Davis.
As you know from this past summer, spending a little time with Sam.
Sam loves to touch a nerve. He'll keep chirping away, although I think that most players are familiar with his personality. Very funny guy. And now Sam Cassell in an animated discussion. Actually, every discussion with Sam is animated. And Cassell has been hit with a technical. Double technical on Cassell and Davis, and they have both been ejected. Cassell picking up his second technical foul. And Best and Robinson have also been hit with double technical foul. Davis also had received a technical earlier on a double technical.
Under the basket, there's Cassell, there's Davis. There's a little grab on the arm, a little push right there, and then the two go face to face. They start drawing at each other. This is a huge, huge loss for the Pacers. They were on the glass all night. Davis hanging in there with 10 rebounds up to this point. To lose him now in the final 6 minutes of the game, holding a 6-point lead, could be devastating.
And well, a major loss for the Bucks. Sam Cassell is also gone. Sam have been piling up the assists. Sits down with, well, actually departs with 13 points.
The second one winds up having him ejected from the game.
Travis Best and Glenn Robinson, who actually precipitated The incident also hit a technical foul, so they were going at each other. Offensive foul. Tim Thomas ramming with Jalen Rose.
Well, you have a small, quick team out here for Indiana. They're scrambling all over the place right now. And a nice job as Tim Thomas puts the ball to the middle of the floor. Right there, Rose steps up, obviously way up in front of the area, picks up the